We do apologize for the break-in transmission. Welcome back to Breakaway League Racing. We're on board with Loveness, who is on the verge of completing his hot lap attempt. And Loveness will cross the line with a 143.461 up to P7 for the Alfa Romeo driver. P7 for the Alfa Romeo driver, and Mshengu had to abandon his hot lap attempt, and Nebo needs to set his representative time here in the battle for pole position, which is currently, of course, being commandeered by Brown Boy. And Nebo will cross the line in P4, 141.885, right behind his teammate, tucks behind the pass of Speedway. So as things stand, it's the two Red Bulls on the front row. They've locked that out, and Seatley and Nabu occupy P3 and 4 respectively. Fantastic effort by Red Bull and Haas, but Seatley is on an outlap looking to have something to say towards that party that the Red Bulls are currently having. As things stand, it is Brown Boy from Lungs, and then Seatley and then Neville are in P3 and 4 respectively. Titus, on his first race this season, is P5. It will start at P5 as things stand with that 142.5. And Caboza will start P6 as things stand. Of course, 2 minutes 45 is qualifying to go. Ban Kobe currently P7. Loveness currently P8. D-Wax currently 9th. And Mshengu, who abandoned his attempt to come back into the pit, finds himself in P10. And Neville is, of course, on that in-lap, having just set a time there. So, and Neville will start this race as things stand in P4. He will be hoping to start alongside his teammate, be it in P4 or indeed higher if both these drivers can improve on those times thus far. Now, D-Wax is now in levels on his way back in. D-Wax, let's see what he can do on his attempt to improve on that P9 spot currently. D-Wax 143.7 abandons his hot lap attempt and allows one of the Mercedes, that being Mshengu, to carry on his outlap. Seakley, this is his response. This is his chance to have something to say on that pole position currently held by Brown Boy, and of course his teammate Lungs, who have locked out that front row. Seakley making his way now through the end of sector 1. It's a 35.5. He's about 3/10 quicker than his previous best time, which and it's a purple sector 1 thus far for Seakley. Let's see what he can do through the castle section and how much speed he can carry into this corner. Takes it through third here, and he comes through, of course, risky amount of speed, but by the end of that twisty section, it was a precise attempt. Gear 7 for the first double left-hander, and Gear 8 for this one. What about his breaking point? Oh, he is nailing it. Hits it with a plum. Seakley knows what he has to do. Brown Boy is already trying to respond a little bit further back. He's 9/10 quicker. Hey, as they come to 116 by the end of sector 2, we're looking at a time that is on the verge of challenging. Brown Boy, giving it a face, comes so close to the wall there through the fast section of corners. Points that car down towards the main straight. He opens up that rear wing. It's Haas. It's the championship leader. He will cross the line. P1. 140.769. The first man today to go into the 140s. Haas. Seakley is back where he feels he belongs. Sensational lap. Significantly quicker than Brown Boy and Lungs, who both did so well, I would have you know. Let's see Brown Boy's response now. Let's hop on board with him. And see how he fares. Time is up if you've taken the checkered flag. Seakley will be looking to bring it back, of course. Let's see now. Brown Boy has come out unscathed of the castle section. Let's see whether or not He can challenge Sinclair. Remember, ooh, hits the wall and damages that front wing end plate. Oh, Brown Boy. Oh, Brown Boy. Man, this was a golden opportunity for him to have something to say here, but it doesn't look like he's abandoned this attempt. Loveness, meanwhile, is out of this session. P8 was the best that he could do, but Brown Boy will open up that rear wing, and on his last chance saloon here, what will it be for Brown Boy? Could not improve. It's still that 141.1. Could not improve on the time that Seaclay had put together. What about his teammate? It's Lung. As things stand, will start in the second row alongside Nebo. Unless Kaboza will have something to say about that. And speaking of Kaboza, let's actually hop on board with him, because it looked like he's still giving it his absolute all as far as speed is concerned. P7 is the best of the Williams driver could do. He is the one carrying the hopes and dreams of Williams in this race, as Buddha is not represented here today, remember. P7 was the best that Kaboza could do. He's on the main straight now. What'll it be for Williams' driver? It's a 141.5. It's P3. He knocks them all down. It'll be a second row start for Kaboza. Sensational effort. We'll start alongside Lungs, and that Red Bull party has now been interrupted by Kaboza. Yes, he is the Polonian Red Bull sandwich. P3, sensational effort by Kaboza in this qualifying session. Will start third. Seaclay tops and will start in P1 from Bound Boy. Kaboza will start third. Lungs will start P4. And Nebo fifth. Bad Kobe sixth. Titus seventh. And Shangu eighth. D-Wax ninth. And Loveness will start this race in P10. Oh, what a grid. Malusi the Malusi saying, Seaclay, you're no longer feeling challenged now. Yeah, Seaclay, absolutely sensational. And, well, Brown Boy, laid down the gauntlet. Seaclay said, all right, I can respond. And respond he did. P1 again for Seaclay. And don't you forget, Seaclay is on a streak. 3 race wins in a row for the Haas driver. On top of that, P2 out in Belgium. Amazing lap by Seaclay. My goodness, says Smirch Django. 140.768. P1. Let's see if Seaclay can translate this pole position into a good race start. Now, we know with Brown Boy, and I would have you know, look out for Kaboza and Lungs at the start of this race. Their race starts are sensational. Ban Kobe, who was having the time of his life as far as race starts were concerned last season, will also look to have something to say in that melee, that battle, that titanic tussle towards turn 1. Welcome to Azerbaijan. Welcome to Baku. I'm hearing from the powers that be that it's quite possible that this lobby might be restarted with a custom grid out here. Yeah, please stay tuned here as we make sure that these drivers are well and truly set for the start of this race here. Peace says in the comments, can Brown Boy pip Seaclay, and then give him a run for his money and make it entertaining for us? That will definitely be entertaining. I'm pretty sure none of these drivers will make it easy for Seaclay here. And do stay tuned. We're switching lobbies quickly, but it will be a custom grid. Just making sure that the lobby does not give us any more glitches thus far. And here we are now as these drivers take their places, making sure that all is well and truly set for a fantastic race here in Baku. Thank you for choosing Breakaway League Racing. It's our top tier drivers battling it out here in Baku, this tight, twisty, tricky street circuit. We've already seen the likes of Tapiso making an acquaintance with the walls. Siri, play These Walls by Kendrick Lamar. Yes, I know that Ngoma. Of course I listen to Kendrick Lamar. Well, you do make a lot of assumptions, Bertoxa, but I am quite versed in modern music. If these walls could talk, they would say, "Come here, drivers." And would you look at that? Even Seppo Temba is here. Ferrari is well and truly fully represented in this race. Kaboza is here. Mshango is here. D-Wax, Loveness. And man, now Seppo Temba will start this race from the back. But thus far, he has a finish of P6 for Seppo Temba. He finished 6th out in Belgium. He then finished 4th in Australia and 4th again in Jeddah. So the Ferrari driver, the model of consistency, he had just the one DNF. He did not finish the race out in Monaco. So Seppo Temba will definitely look to have something to say here in this race. And, well, Brown Boy is also here. What a start it's been for him. What a fantastic representative of, former Tier 2 drivers, so to speak. Brown Boy is currently 6th in the driver's standings. He'll start P2 today. Peace, a.k.a. Venuccio, says, Merck, we're supporting on the sidelines. No pressure, M. Shangu. Let's see if M. Shangu can soak up all that goodwill and improve on his prospects. M. Shangu currently has 3 championship points. He is 15th in the driver's standings. The only driver, of course, who has not participated in a race since the start of the season is that man, Titus. He currently is P20, is Titus. 0 points. Liddy and Inati have 1 championship point, respectively, both of them. And Esbuda and Loveness sit 16th and 17th in the championship. They have 4 championship points. And, Mandla, Romeo Massengo, 8 points. Kaboza, 6 points in this driver standings thus far. So that'll definitely make things quite interesting indeed. Here comes Titus, making sure that he takes his place in this grid here. And he's definitely one to look out for as far as performances are concerned. Lungello says, yay, it's too easy for Seekley. Django says, Lung's definitely challenging for the podium if he can keep it clean and not damage his wings. Keep those wings together. We saw Smirch Django put on a masterclass of clean, clinical, incisive driving here in Baku in the Tier 2 race. So he's definitely a man who knows what he's talking about when he tells these drivers just to keep it simple and keep it together. Cannot wait for the rest of this race, or rather for the race to begin, indeed. 26 laps, tight, twisty street circuit. Mandla is another one we've spoken about who needs to put those performances together. Mandla actually is on a streak of 3 finishes of P9. He did not finish in the points in Belgium, was P12, and then he finished 9th in Monaco, 9th in Australia, and 9th again in Jeddah. So Mandla definitely has his work cut out as far as his race is concerned. Malusi the Malusi says Lungs will definitely be in the mix. Lungs has been putting in so much time in the simulator in the off-season, has gotten well and truly accustomed to this Red Bull, this new regulation Red Bull. And Tindo says, he and Mello are currently at the Queen's funeral. They've been standing here to see the coffin. Well, have a safe trip back from London, Tindo and Malusi the Malusi. Stanley, aka Selby Songo, says
mina ngizela ama-DNF labantu osu-DNF.
Selby Songo is looking forward to some carnage. Selby Songo had a challenging race, but he managed to finish in the points. Recovered quite remarkably, did Selby Songo, to finish with a decent points haul in Tier 2. And yeah, Tindo is says he's out there and thereabouts out in London. Stanley Mazzanti, let's go Red Bull. Stanley Mazzanti, of course, the wingless wonder from yesterday. What a show he put on, fighting off all those drivers, driving, of course, without a wing for pretty much most of his race. Tindo says, I got the letter that the Queen wrote before she passed. Mandla won't finish, but he will win the championship. Tindo firing so many shots in the comments. And of course, it was his turn to get roasted by the comments yesterday in his Tier 2 race. Unfortunately, Tindo kept it together for most of the race, but could not finish out here in Baku. So let's see how many of these drivers will be able to keep it together and indeed finish their race here. Looks like we'll have a dry race. These drivers will say, thankfully, it'll be a dry race.
Abathindo bafunani eLondon ngiyaphila lapho abathindo bayaphila uthindo ugqoke i-apron lapha eBuckingham Palace injani ihemere yaseBuckingham Palace awusitshele Thindo injani ihemere lapha emngcwabeni.
Yes, I suppose that would be good to know how the Gemmer tastes. Very well, Well, let's see how these drivers fare as far as warming up those tires are concerned. Let's make sure all the information that you need is actually available. And let's see. Seppo Temba has nothing to lose. He will start this race. Well, Liddy just pretty much disqualifies himself here. Seppo Temba is opting to start this race on a set of hard compound tires. And, yeah, I suppose he's got nothing to lose. Starting from the back, he will go long initially, and Seppo Temba will be hoping that some wings are lost, or indeed some cars crash into these walls at the beginning of this race.
Yeah, no, Seppo Temba uminyile abona mabangachayisa uzocelebrate ngoba ngalama hard tire uzovela shaya i-long run yabo. Yeah, or maybe uzobachayisa Seppo Temba wasazi.
Maybe, Seppo Temba is quite a clean driver, but as I say that, has a moment with the wall. No grip for Seppo Temba, who finds himself P14. Mandla, of course, will start in 12th place over here. Django says, watch out for Kaboza on the start. Yes, Kaboza is absolutely ruthless as far as race starts are concerned. Has scintillating pace. And Malusi the Malusi says, good strategy by Seppo Temba to start in the hards. He's got nothing to lose, of course. He will go longer than all these guys. Tindo says there's no more beetroot. He's been, of course, peeling vegetables at Buckingham Palace. And, unfortunately for them, they've run out of beetroot.
Ubazama ngechakalakanyana maybe angazi bayidle Buckingham Palace. Ukuthi angazi kudla kube ama-7 colors yabo. Hayi lento yama-sandwich cabanga i-sandwich emngcwabeni kanjani.
Yes, of course. They're going to have to watch their food there. And sandwiches are, of course, customary for funerals at that side. Seaflake weaving left and right. He will start in pole position, of course. Brown Boy will look to have something to say when this starts. Tinder reckons the new king, that being Charles, is fond of guinas. Wouldn't that be something?
Amara uthindo last year bekasizama at least lapha ePortugal esikhathi afika asizama ngamagwini, but at least manje angazi ngabe uthindo ulana ubaphekela ama-driver manje angazi ufuna neLondon.
Yeah, perhaps Tindo will make that quick trek at Baku, but he will have his work cut out for him. Now, one of the Red Bulls is already in place, that being Brown Boy in P2, places that car inch perfect. Let's see how the rest of them fare. Kaboza nails it. Lungs, will he nail his starting position? Lungs, D-Wax did not quite do it. Lungs gets it, and Levo is ready, as is Van Covey. What about Titus? He has to navigate the car behind him, that being D-Wax. And yeah, a couple of cars that didn't quite get those moves correct. We have 5 lights, and this is the only time in South Africa's look forward to the lights going out. The lights are out. Welcome to Baku. We are racing. It's Brown Boy hurtling. And looking to get the move on Sikle, and he almost gets it done, but Sikle holds his own. Kapoza, who's famous for his starts, did not quite get it together this time. It's Sikle from Brown Boy from Kapoza, and level is P4. Van Kobe is 5th. Titus is slipping and sliding down the order. He might have suffered some early damage coming out of turn 1. But the story of the day, of course, is that battle between P1 and P2, Sikle, and Brown Boy trying to get out for the race lead. Tempo Temba gaining all those places at the start of the race on those hard tires. Tapiso, Lydia, and Mshangu have lost out here on the race start. What about Brown Boy? He's right on the half driver's tail coming towards the end of sector 1 here. Remember, these tires are still new. They do have some temperature, but these guys have to be careful as far as choosing their braking points carefully and trying not to slip and slide into these walls at the beginning of this race. It's sector 2, the castle section for Sikle, who was, of course, desperate to hang on to the race lead into turn 1, but he managed to get that done, even though Brown Boy and Kapoza tried as they might, but they could not challenge the championship leader. It's the end of sector 2 coming up after this sequence of turns. Sikle touches the wall briefly. That does not compromise him too much as Brown Boy gains and gains. It's about 2/10 between these two now as they're going to send these top 2 cars hurling towards that towards the main straight now. They come through. Brown Boy kicks in the wall a little bit. Will that compromise him? Yes. Look at that. He's lost a couple of tenths already. And Kapoza will look to take advantage as Brown Boy hit the wall. He will hope that he didn't take too much damage. Doesn't look like he took too much damage. And Kapoza is absolutely sending his Sikle across the line P1. And this is the viewpoint from the Williams driver, who has a front row seat to that battle taking place. And they both come through unscathed as this lap completes its first revolution. Let's get a sense of some of the big movers now. Look at that. The top 3 have pretty much not changed position. Seppo Temba had to come back into the pits. He possibly took some damage after getting such a fantastic race start. Van Kobe is up to P5. Lund lost those 2 places. He is down to P6. Loveness is one of the big movers. There's definitely a glitch as far as the timings are concerned, as you can see there. So hopefully that'll not compromise things as far as this race is concerned. Let's just see the gap to the leader. Yeah, it's definitely a timing glitch that we see there, because there's no way that the grid is so far behind thus far. Yeah, but the big battle, of course, is between the Red Bull and the Haas towards the front of this grid. Brown Boy, who had that moment with the wall and lost some momentum, finds himself a second behind Sikle. And as these guys are about to begin the 3rd lap, that is, of course, when DRS will be enabled here. Teammate is back, says Inati, cheering on Titus, who finds himself P8 right now towards the end of lap 2. Brown Boy, 68% of his battery left. He is now just 8/10 behind the race leader. Sikle sets the fastest time. And Kapoza looks to be falling away here. The gap looks to be 2.7 seconds. I do hope that that is not a glitch, but it does look like, yeah, that is the case, that he's about almost 3 seconds behind. Yeah, these glitches have been annoying, but it looks like the timesheets are back, established where they should be. Now, another battle taking place is between Van Kobe and Enlevo. He's just under a second behind the Haas driver. Oh, Van Kobe has a twitch, bringing Lungs into the reckoning. Lungs is now P6, right behind the McLaren. Oh, this is a battle to pay close attention to in lap 3 of 26. Lungs is taking no prisoners. Van Kobe will now be feeling the heat. Lungs can smell the fumes coming out the back of that McLaren. And this 3rd lap, Van Kobe really struggling here as they begin this stint into the castle section. I wonder if Van Kobe might have taken significant wing damage. It doesn't look like it. His front wing looks to be intact, but he's definitely struggled coming in towards that castle section. And yeah, as Lindo is noting, Kaboza is losing ground to those front runners, being Seaclay and Brown Boy. But it is Lungs looking to get this overtake done on Ban Kobe. Perhaps he'll get it done here. Titus has just been overtaken by D-Wax a little bit further behind. Lungs is 4/10, less than half a second. Oh, no! Ban Kobe has a huge moment into the wall. This is Lungs' moment. Lungs goes side by side. Lungs is ahead of Ban Kobe, who hits the wall. But now he's fighting back as Ban Kobe using his battery power. Ban Kobe goes side by side, and Ban Kobe goes back into P5, and they'll fight it out into turn 1. Lungs has a peek on the inside, but Ban Kobe has that advantage coming out of turn 1. Ban Kobe struggling in these initial laps at a huge moment with the wall, but has managed to keep that front wing together. But he's used up all of his battery power. That red light is flashing. Lungs can smell a potential overtake here in prospect. This battle for P5, sensational. And as they fight, Loveness will be smiling because he inches closer and closer to these two. Loveness is within DRS of this man, Lungs. And Ban Kobe, I would have you know, was looking to be within DRS of Enlevel. So Enlevel and Loveness will be the ones absolutely happy for this battle to be taking place. Titus has pitted early for soft compound tires. And Malusi reckons that Ban Kobe is most likely running a low rear wing. Of course, straight line speed advantage, but in these tight cornering sections, that's where he loses so much momentum. That is, of course, where Lungs managed to gain so much of an advantage last time out. And that is the case here now. But look at the exit that he gets. That straight line speed, that low wing that Ban Kobe is quite likely running. Lungs has no answer on these longer straight sections. And he's going to have something to say about that because Loveness is now on his tail. It's a potential 4-car DRS train. Ludi crashes out. It's a DNF for Ludi coming out of turn 2, seemingly. Yellow flags. Will the safety car come out? Yes! The safety car is out. The safety car is out. Was it enough for Seaclay to come into the pits? Will he come into the pits? He's slowed down. Has the championship and race leader? No, he does not. What about Brown Boy? He stays out as well. M. Shengu speeding on the safety car. Time penalty. What about Kaboza? Stays out. And Lebo stays out. Ban Kobe pits. Ban Kobe, being the only McLaren driver left, comes into the pits. D-Wax, by the look of things, might just carry on. Yes, D-Wax carries on, as does Mandla. So Ban Kobe will fit a new set of wings and a new wing. Ban Kobe has to fit on a new wing. Tapiso passes Ban Kobe. Will need no second invitation. Titus pitted for softs. Will this change his mind? Nope. He carries on. He's already lost so much time, but Titus will thank his lucky stars. This is his chance to come in. Seppo Temba is also coming into the pits. M. Shengu, remember, he's got that time penalty. He's running way behind here. And the Ferrari crew will fit a new wing for Seppo Temba. Pacey driver, but he's not having such a good time out here. It's another set of hards for Seppo Temba, interestingly. In lap 5 of 26, we'll have a couple of revolutions behind the safety car, and M. Shengu rounds off the rest of this pack. He had already pitted, did M. Shengu. Satellite reckons one more DNF. One more DNF remaining. Let's take a look at that details as far as stops are concerned. Seppo Temba has already stopped twice. Remember, yesterday we saw a driver with 7 pit stops in Tier 2, which was, well, quite the sight. So 2 stops thus far for Seppo Temba, who's not having such a great time here in Baku. He's the only driver to have stopped twice thus far. Behind the safety car, it's the championship leader, Seaclay, from Brown Boy and Kaboza. So the front 3 unchanged. What a day for Haas, because Nebo finds himself P4. Nebo can smell the potential podium finish here. And Lungs is currently in 5th place. Wings clipped everywhere. Yeah, drivers donating these wings. This track smells like chicken licking, I tell you that. And Loveness has not donated his wing thus far. It's P7, P6 for the Alfa Romeo driver. And well, with his trademark aggression, now that the pack is bunched up again, he will be looking forward to that. And Galacco, D-Wax, P7. Mandla, Romeo will start resume this race from 8th position. Of course, remember there'll be a couple of laps before DRS is enabled once again, so hopefully we don't get another quick DNF right after the safety car comes back. Cepiso is 9th. Bankobi, having pitted for these hard tires, is now 10th. Titus on those new socks, 2 laps old, but they will fall off here. Tire degradation is really not very kind to soft tires, especially around here, so expect to see him come in. So this is a man, Titus, on his return to league racing. He will be hoping for another quick DNF here so he can come back up to the pits. Seppo Temba is not having such a great time out here. He's outside the points, P12, and Mshengu is the driver looking to catch up to the pack. And, well, he's just got a couple of turns as most of the pack makes their way through and out of the castle section. Mshengu is just looking to catch up here. Being cheered on, of course, by his teammate Lucy the Malusi. Wings clipped everywhere. Oh, what a day this would be for Kaboza if he could manage to hang on to this podium spot. He finished 7th in Belgium, did this man, and has not gained any points since. Kaboza really has his work cut out for him here. Just the that finish out in Belgium was a good day for the Williams driver, and of course he carries the hopes and teams of Williams. The safety car is in this lap. Let's see what kind of an advantage, if at all, Seaflake can gain here. Lap 6 of 26 total. Selby Songo, rather. Has a conspiracy theory here. He says that DNF was intentional, Liddy. Rushing off to edit photos. Liddy, of course, on top of being a fantastic driver, is a skilled multimedia producer. Seaclay sends that car hurtling down towards turn 1. What can Kaboza and Brown Boy do? Seaclay will go unchallenged into turn 1. Brown Boy inches closer, almost touches the wall with Brown Boy. Bankobi crashes out! Bankobi has crashed out! Sector 1, turn 1, Bankobi totals the McLaren. Both McLarens are out in this race in Baku. It's a yellow flag. Thankfully, no safety car, as we've just had one. D-Wax is out! 2 drivers retiring! Oh, Bankobi and D-Wax will be kicking themselves. Today was a golden opportunity to rack up potential points. D-Wax lost his car coming out of turn 2. And Mandla, aka Romeo, is at AlphaTauri's only hope here. Oh, man. A dramatic restart. Those hard tires are not working. Moteo Mex says my team, McLaren, is in the mud. Dini says those hard tires are really, really not working. Let's see Kaboza carrying so much speed there in to that twisty part of the castle section. Sanley, Selby Sango, is having the time of his life here. He predicted this. 2 DNFs in quick succession at the safety car restart. Those hard tires take some really, really fantastic effort to work them back into the optimum condition here. Kaboza is trying to hang on for dear life and reclaim his spot to within DRS of the P2 running Brown Boy. This is the viewpoint from his perspective. Look at that, 78% of his battery used. So he's staying within DRS, but he's not using too much of that battery, which is really not that easy to recharge and rekindle as this race goes on. Oh my goodness. Seakley is managing to hang on here. There's a bit of a tussle between Lungs and Enlebo. Let's catch up with that. He's side by side, the Rebel and the Haas. None of them are giving in. Lungs concedes, and Enlebo gets the run there into P2. But this fight has brought Loveness into the reckoning. What can he do now? Hurtling towards the back of that Red Bull, the P5 running Lungs. He thinks about it, but he does not go for it. Into this turn, he's also being circumspect with his battery, 72% worth of his battery power remaining in lap 8 of 26. Loveness fighting to have something to say in the fight between Enlebo and Lungs in P5 and 4 respectively. It's going to be a fantastic potential DRS train here once the stewards reactivate or re-enable DRS. Mshangu racking up those penalties. He came into the pits, did Mshangu, racked up a time penalty for speeding in the pit lane on top of the penalty that he had racked up already. I salute Brown Boy, says the man. Emenduni always on the champion's tail. Absolutely, Brown Boy, the new arrival to Tier 1. It must not be forgotten. Looking sensational. Loveness loses momentum there on those sequence of fast corners. And what could have been a three-way DRS fight is not necessarily the case here. It's almost lap 8 of 26. Welcome to Baku if you've just joined us. Loveness is looking to have something to say. It's Lungs right on the tail of the Haas here. And Level will he make way? They're almost side by side. Look at the straight line speed comparatively. They are side by side. Going into turn 1, Lungs has the advantage, but Level has the inside line. Who will get that line into? And Level has to concede, and he will tuck right behind the Red Bull. And of course, that will bring Loveness into the reckoning for a potential overtake on the Haas driver. Loveness thinks about it, but he tucks back into the slipstream of the Haas. Sensational battling between the Red Bull and the Haas out here in Baku. Loveness is side by side with Enlebo, and he gets that move done, does Loveness. Sensational! P5! Does Enlebo have wing damage? It doesn't look like it, but he's definitely losing momentum here. Overtaken twice, all within Sector 1. Yeah, he's lost 2 places, has Enlebo. He needs to get it back together here. Let's get back to the fight between Brown Boy and the race leader, meanwhile. They've managed to build a gap behind them. That gap is hovering at the 3-second mark. Kaboza struggling to keep up with the pace here. This is Brown Boy. Sensational lap thus far. We've lost 3 drivers. 3 DNFs. Mshangu is back in the pits again. Oh, and Shangu looking to break Twitch's record of 7 pit stops in Baku. But now, Seakley almost cutting it so fine as far as the track limits are concerned. Almost had a moment with the wall there, but not quite. Brown Boy hanging on, still within DRS. Danny is asking, do you go soft? Do you go long of these mediums and then eventually to soft, or do you go hard? That's an excellent question. We'll see how long these two will go. Brown Boy lost some ground there. He's now broken out of the DRS of that Haas a little bit further ahead. And let's see what we can do now. Hurtling towards turn 1. If he can reclaim that advantage. No, not quite. And Level is fighting back versus Loveness. He tucks into the slipstream of the Alfa Romeo. They go side by side, and Level will have the inside line going into turn 1. Will they make a little bit of contact? They almost do. Oh, the Alfa Romeo's on the outside. They almost touch, but Level clean through on Loveness. Back up to P5. And that red light is flashing, of course. Loveness knows what he has to do. He has 50%, more than 50% of his battery power. So this battle is far from over. Between these two, as Titus is still going strong behind Mandla on those 6-lap-old soft tires. By the look of things, he has a bit of a twitch. He might be struggling for grip. Interesting strategy by Titus. Remember, he had pitted early, but he opted for soft tires, hoping to fight his way back into the reckoning. The battle between Loveness and Levo is going to resume here, as for a second it looked like Brown Boy was inching closer and closer to the race leader, but he's lost momentum again, 1.6 seconds behind. And that'll definitely bring Kaboza back into the reckoning if Brown Boy is not careful there, as it looks like Loveness does not have It's not quite. Oh, there's a crash. Is that Mandla? Yes, it's Mandla. Sent it into the wall. Oh, man, coming out of the twisty part there. Oh, Mandla is wingless. He'll have to come back into the pits here. Yellow flags. And, that'll bring Tapiso into the reckoning. He'll say thanks very much. And gets that overtake clean through. Mandla coming out of the twisty section, hits the wall again. Oh, my word. Mandla looks to overtake Tapiso again. Is Mandla going to run wingless? It's Mandla putting on a hell of a fight here. He touched the wall, lost his wing. You better be careful not to total that car altogether. Titus and Mandla come back into the pits, and Kapoza has lost so much momentum that Lungs is now within striking distance of the Williams driver. And there's some titanic battles taking place all over the grid. Saputemba has overtaken the two drivers who are in the pits. And, with 10-lap-old medium tires, Kapoza is falling further and further back behind the top two. Let's see what he can do here, Kapoza. He's really struggling. Lungs is right on his tail. And, Mandla has fitted a set of hard compound tires. Let's see how Lungs now will fare. Lungs, codenamed Guzu, the pride of Red Bull at stake as far as a potential double podium is concerned here in lap 11 of 26. Remember, all of these runners up until Tapiso have yet to pit. So, we'll definitely have a lot to say as far as the rest of this race is concerned and the battles taking place. Ooh, Kapoza has a bit of a moment, but Lungs has the momentum. Lungs has the straight line speed. Lungs is looking to go side by side onto the main straight. Will Lungs have the advantage into turn one? Kapoza concedes, comes into the pit, as does the race leader Cicle, as Brown Boy opts to carry on. Cicle and Kapoza have come into the pits, and your race leader now is Brown Boy from Lungs from Loveness. It's an undercut from the championship leader. Will it pay off? Remember, the outlap is so treacherous on cold set of hard tires. We saw two DNFs, one of them being Van Covey on hard tires. It's so hot already. He was trying to get some temperature into them, but these tires have much lower starting temperature, having just come fresh out of the pits. And Nebo, unfortunately, has racked up a time penalty. So this man, Brown Boy, needs, if this is to be his in-lap, he needs to get it absolutely perfect. No mistakes from Brown Boy here. If this is to be an overcut, a one lap overcut on lap 12 of 26. Brown Boy, absolutely sensational. He's been fighting with Cicle the entire race. He stayed within DRS of Cicle up until Cicle opted to blink first and come into the pits. What'll it be for Brown Boy? Van Colby says, I'm convinced Tapiso hates me. I'm reporting him. That was intentional. So Van Colby seemingly lost his car after having a tussle with Tapiso in the race. Happy birthday, Crash. He's in the comments. Will Brown Boy come into the pits? He's leading by a factor of 6 or so seconds. The answer is yes. And as Brown Boy pits, presumably for a set of hard compound tires, let's see if Cicle will have a successful undercut. It is Brown Boy still in the pits. Lungs has carried on. Loveness also follows Brown Boy into the pits. Cicle here coming out into turn one. Where is Brown Boy? Will they be side by side? Cicle, the overcut is successful. Brown Boy with a brilliant overcut comes out ahead of Cicle. But remember, Brown Boy's tires are ice cold. Cicle has the tire temperature advantage, but finds himself behind the Red Bull now. Sensational driving by Brown Boy to come out ahead of the pass of Cicle. But Brown Boy, watch from this vantage point, will be struggling for tire temperature all throughout sectors 1 and 2, possibly even 3. He will have to use whatever is left of his battery to try and keep Cicle at bay. Fantastic overcut by Brown Boy, representing former Tier 3, former Tier 2 alumnus one of the most talented men on this grid, giving Seakley headaches and so much to think about. And as these two battle, remember, Lungs will be hoping that it slows both of them down enough so that he himself has a fantastic overcut by the time he decides to come in. Fantastic stuff from Brown Boy. Look at that exit that he gets. Beautiful stuff on those fast two left-handers after nails. Breaking point Seakley. Has a huge moment but manages to keep it together. He's still within DRS, and by now Brown Boy would be hoping that those temperatures are at a decent enough point. Remember, just one lap younger are Brown Boy's tires compared to this man, Seakley, whose advantage to Piso is about 10.9 seconds, almost 11 full seconds. Fantastic stuff. It's Brown Boy versus Seakley, hurling into turn one. Lungs had pitted, and let's see how he will fare. He might not get this done. No, Lungs is definitely still in the pit. He will come out, hopefully, in P3, will Lungs. And let's see. Oh, Seakley breaks really, really late. And he almost has a moment there, which gives Brown Boy a marginally better exit. And Lungs is now 7 seconds behind Seakley. Fantastic strategy from the Red Bull team. It's a potential double podium if these two can keep it together. And if we have another incident and thus safety car, then Lungs, of course, will be right on Seakley's neck at the restart. But that's ifs, buts, and maybes right now. Brown Boy is having a sensational race. Qualified just behind this man, but now Seakley finds himself battling to regain the race lead. Fantastic stuff from Brown Boy. A little bit further down the grid, it looks like Kaposa is on the verge of a potential overtake. Come on, Bulls! Satellite Mazansi, the wingless wonder, cheering on his fellow Red Bull drivers in the top tier of Breakaway League racing. Brown Beezy, says Zotal, looking good. Fantastic overcut by the Red Bull driver. And Seakley, thus far, is just tucking into the DRS. Now, it's quite possible, of course, that Seakley is just quite happy to hang back here and let Brown Boy use up as much of his battery as possible while Seakley charges his. That is a possibility. Brown Boy versus Kaposa versus Loveness. He just got that move done to Kaposa. On this fast sequence of corners, he just overtook Loveness, who's fighting back. In lap 15 of 26, Loveness tucks into the slipstream. Loveness goes side by side, and they hurtle down towards turn one. Loveness will have the inside line. Loveness is ahead, going into turn one. Sensational battling. He's back up to P6. You will not have it go so easy, Kaposa. You're going to have to give a lot more than that if you are to take my place. Now, as these two battle, they inch closer and closer to the two Ferraris, that being Tapiso and Seppo Temba, whose fresher set of medium tires finds him about half a second behind his teammate. Now, these two Ferraris can pretty much see in their rear view Loveness and Kaposa inching closer and closer. Further down in the grid, and Lebo is in P8. He's got that time penalty to contend with. Titus, on his first race this season, is running steady in P9. And Romeo, a.k.a. Mandla, 10th. The final points position. This man, Mandla, his red light is flashing. Depleted all his battery power. He's finished 9th on 3 consecutive races thus far. Further up the grid, Seppo Temba is telling Tapiso to get a move on because Loveness and Kaposa have joined the fray here, and the two Ferraris are holding it together. Is it team orders? Is Tapiso making way here? It doesn't look like it. Oh, but Loveness might have a double moment. Oh, Loveness and Seppo Temba have a moment, and Tapiso has spun, promoting Loveness and Enlevo to P6 and 7 respectively. Tapiso made contact with Loveness. He spun, and he lost all that momentum. Has he damaged his wing? No. Now, Seppo Temba finds himself in P4 currently. Oh, man, what an overtake that was. This battle between Seakley and Brown Boy. Seakley, with 10 laps of racing to go, might be content to just tuck in there. Tuck in behind Brown Boy and just let the Red Bull driver use up his battery. But as it stands, Brown Boy 59% worth of his battery remaining. C-Clay actually has more of his battery used here. So Brown Boy driving sensationally, not using too much of his battery power to keep C-Clay at bay here. Beautiful stuff from Brown Boy. Cepiso, with 10 laps of racing to go, opts for a set of soft compound tires. And, well, we'll see how he fares now towards the end of this race. C-Clay versus Brown Boy has been beautiful to watch. Ferrari master plan, says Teppo Massico. It's good to see you here, Teppo. Plan H, says Samley, a.k.a. Selby Sango. Plan Z for Ferrari, says Sword Thumbs Gaming. Teppo Temba, who started at the back of his grid, finds himself P4. And well, if we get another huge incident, a potential safety car that will bunch up again, and then it's a potential podium finish for Teppo Temba. But, of course, if, buts, and maybes. Right now, it is C-Clay hurtling towards the back. He will take the outside line towards turn 1. And he's still tucked in behind. Is he thinking about it, or is he just content to stay on the back of the Red Bull? Well, he does not go quite aggressive there to C-Clay. He's happy just to stay tucked in behind Brown Boy in P1. Beautiful stuff by the Red Bull driver. Debut season in T1, Tier 1, remember. Loveness has caught up to Caboza. Oh, Loveness has an almighty spin. Come out of turn 1, and that gives Enlebo the advantage. Oh, Loveness, what happened there? He did so well. And Enlebo says, well, you're not going to need to ask me twice. If you give me P6, I will take it. Thank you. Oh, Loveness has a huge spin there, but thankfully keeps his car together. How much damage did Loveness take, I wonder? Well, not too much. That wing looks like it's still intact. P7 for Loveness. Titus, still P8. Romeo, Mandla, still. He's now up to P9. Remember, he's finished P9 3 consecutive races. He's hoping for another points finish to finish either P9 or even higher up. And Cepiso finds himself 12th, 10th. 11 seconds behind Mandla, and M. Shengu is of course, has been lapped. He's now P11. It's Brown Boy from C-Clay. It's been a battle to watch here. The top back on board. Brown Boy, absolutely beautiful, beautiful stuff. He finds himself now with a lead of just under half a second. And C-Clay will look to have something to say. He thinks about going on the outside. Does the Haas driver? No. Will he? No, he makes room, and Brown Boy keeps it together. And C-Clay, it looks like, with about with 18 laps of racing done, C-Clay now looks... Ooh, C-Clay touches the wall briefly there. How much momentum will that cost him? He keeps it together, though. C-Clay will look... seemingly in these coming laps to finally get that move done. 40% of his battery left, about 45% as far as Brown Boy is concerned. Yeah, Brown Boy's battery is about 46 or so percent, and C-Clay's 43%. So they keeping it absolutely steady. If Brown Boy wins, C-Clay will be hacked, says Sword Thumbs Gaming. Yeah, it'll be a P2 finish for C-Clay. It's been only P1s and P2s thus far since the start of the season. Sensational driving from the half driver. Defending champion, it must be said. Lebo is the only driver on penalties. Yeah. C-Clay's teammate, C-Clay's so late on the brakes there. Every overtake attempt has not been successful thus far for C-Clay. That is Tabang making that remark. Inachi says, C-Clay might not have tires to overtake. He's taking too long to clear Brown Boy. C-Clay's tires 6, soon to be 7 laps old compared to Brown Boy's, which are soon to be 6 laps old by the end of this race. This is it. This is C-Clay making the move. He tucks in on the inside. They're side by side. C-Clay is ahead going into turn 1. How much will Brown Boy fight back? Brown Boy concedes the position, and C-Clay has the advantage, and C-Clay is back into the race lead in lap 19 of 26, but Brown Boy is there and thereabouts. giving nothing away. Right on the tail of the hatch there. Can smell the fumes out of that Ferrari-powered hatch engine. And Cicle is now, his eyes are darting left and right to those rear view mirrors. That blue, menacing Red Bull looming large in Cicle's mind and Cicle's rear view mirrors. All Brown Boy has to do is keep it together. Do not panic. And Neville and Caboza further down the grid swap positions. But it is Brown Boy versus Cicle in the battle of the day so far. These two have been the standouts in qualifying. They've been the standouts in this race. None of the grid have been able to keep up. And Brown Boy loses a little bit of initiative into the castle section here. Cicle's corner exits have been cleaner, but Brown Boy manages to make sure that that gap does not extend beyond 6/10 or so. The fast sequence of double left-handers, he's still within half a second. These two, sensational driving. Not complaining at all, says Short Thumbs Gaming. From now on, it's going to be strategy moving forward. That's what Malusi the Malusi says. Lap 19 of 26, if you've just joined us, it's been a titanic clash between these two. Brown Boy has been driving beautifully in qualifying and this race. Kept Cicle on his toes and is right on his tail in lap 19 of 26. It's been the battle to watch here. He makes sure not to use too much of his battery. He's got the advantage of DRS. He'll take the outside, the inside. He thinks about it. No, but he concedes. Oh, will they make a little bit of contact there? They might have touched a little bit, but Brown Boy manages to keep it together. Cicle will not be rattled. Of course, we know what kind of his mentality Cicle has. And he's making sure, Brown Boy, not to slip out of DRS. Right here, it's a battle of wits, a battle of wills for these two. That will determine who takes this race. Seppo further down the grid concedes and brings those old mediums into the pits. Ooh, Cicle had a bit of a moment on that corner exit on that right-hander as they're about to finish, or rather, as they begin the second sector. Seppo has opted for a set of soft compound tires, as has Caboza, who has also just pitted. Those two running P7 and 8 respectively. We are watching, of course, the battle for the race lead. Oh, a bit of a moment in the castle section there for Brown Boy. Loses a little bit of initiative. He's now out of DRS. He's going to have to use some of that battery to claw his way back to within less than a second of the hatch driver. Heavy braking zone. Cicle takes that without incident, and Brown Boy is now out of DRS on to the main straight. Zotile absolutely marveling at the precision, the surgical precision of Cicle's corner exits. Esports vibe, says the new chill. Who has the older tires? Brown Boy has 7-lap old hard tires, soon to be 8. Cicle has 9 laps old, so the tire difference is just 1 lap. Cicle pitted 1 lap before Brown Boy here, so the tire age is there's not too much of a difference as far as the tire age between these two. Oh, Brown Boy has a bit of a moment, loses further momentum, and has to use some of that battery power to get back within DRS. Now, he's within DRS. He's going to have to brake perfectly now to hang on to that DRS potential advantage. We'll catch up with this battle a little bit later because Caboza on those soft tires has managed to just overcome Mandla. Will Mandla fight back? Oh, he thinks about it, but he does not have anything to say as far as tire compound are concerned. Meanwhile, Seppo and Titus have just had a little bit of a battle of their own. Oh, Titus almost has a moment with the wand there. Seppo fresh set of soft tires, comes out ahead of Titus, who is now a second behind the Ferrari driver. Mandla is still within touching distance here. But those older hard tires will have, will have pretty much not much to say as far as grip advantage versus Caboza on those new soft tires. Welcome back, Titus! Already within the points in his first race of the season. Now he will have his work cut out, will Titus, to make sure that he gets all the momentum and the points for the rest of the season, having missed those initial 4 races of the season. But it's very good to see Titus in and amongst it. Back again for Aston Martin. Mandla is slipping a little bit further and further away. And as he does so, Tapiso on the fresher compound is going to say hello. Now, within a couple of corners, Tapiso should be within, well within 2 seconds. So we should breach that mark and have something to say. We use yellow flag. Mandla. Oh, Mandla had a moment there in the castle section, overtaken easily by Tapiso. Oh, Mandla. Oh, man. Mandla losing so much momentum. Thankfully for him, M. Shengu is so far behind, but Mandla just has to keep it together here. He had a moment. Oh, it touches the wall again, does Mandla. Oh, Mandla, that's the section of track where he lost the wing, and guess what? His wing is gone again. Seppo Temba is the quickest man on track. Mandla, wingless again, and lap 22 of 26. Nightmare scenario for the AlphaTauri driver. He will have his work cut out for him. Let's get back to the race. The battle for the race lead. Yellow flags in sector 2. Was that for Mandla again? Hopefully, yeah, it does not look like the safety car is going to come out again. Brown Boy has done his best here to stay within touching distance, but as this race hurdles on towards the end, it is Sikle with the advantage, a factor of about a second and a half, 1.5 seconds. The advantage that Sikle has from Brown Boy running in P2. Lungs, his teammate, is currently running third. M. Shengu, DNS. M. Shengu has crashed his car in sector 3. Not far behind where Lungs is. The safety car is out! The safety car is out in lap 22 of 26. Sikle, what will you do? He's got track position. He does not need to come in. Is this a bluff? No, Sikle's coming in. Sikle pits. What will Brown Boy do? He follows suit. Safety car here with 3 laps of racing to go. We will quite likely not have DRS. It's going to be a battle of sheer speed. Was Sikle changing a wing? Oh no, he was further. His place was further ahead. Lungs comes into the pits and tantalizing prospect as the top runners come into the pit, and Nebo will need no second invitation. He will come into the pits as well, as will Loveness and Seppo Temba. Fresh set of softs. This is a beautiful scenario for Seppo Temba, because those guys coming into the pits, Seppo Temba had pitted. His softs is just 3 laps old. It's a potential podium finish for Seppo Temba. This is beautiful stuff. Loveness fits an old set of minions. That's a bizarre choice from Loveness there. Kaboza, 3-lap old soft tires, no need for him to pit. And courtesy of Nebo, he was hoping to overtake Nebo was Kaboza, but Nebo thankfully comes out still ahead of the Williams driver. Titus! Oh my Titus. Fresh set of soft tires, he is also come in. Tapiso has older softs, so he will quite likely put on a fresher set of soft tires. Seppo Temba, driver of the day for Zotal. Remember, Seppo Temba started this race all the way at the back of the grid, and now he's on the verge of a potential podium finish. Do you agree? Is Seppo Temba your driver of the day? Is it Brown Boy? Oh, huge spin, Tapiso. What's going on there? Oh man, manages to keep that wing together. It's Tapiso, heart in mouth moment there, as Mandla had to slow down as Tapiso was getting his bearings together. So hopefully the safety car should be back in the pit lane there. Yeah, there was a bizarre moment there from Tapiso. Sikle leads this race from Brown Boy, running in second. Lungs. Oh, potential beautiful day for Red Bull. Lungs, codenamed Guzu, is P3 currently. Lungs, codenamed Guzu for Red Bull, a potential double podium for them. But this man, Seppo Temba, will not make it easy for them. P4 for the Ferrari driver. Loveness is 5th on those old mediums, so yeah, he will struggle. And Zotal says that was one way to warm up your tires. Speak about the moment that Tapiso had. Loveness is 5th, and Nebo is 6th. Kaboza P7. Kaposa, why is he coming back into the pits? Oh, perhaps fitting a fresh set of soft tires? But I mean, 4 laps old, it wasn't that bad. He didn't have to concede position, did Kaposa? Unless it's no, it's not even a wing change. He just wants a brand new set of soft tires. But will that cost him? Yeah, it's already cost him 1 position. Titus overtook Kaposa, and yeah, Tapiso is still far behind. So Kaposa reckons a fresher set of soft is enough of a gamble to lose just 1 position. But Titus will not make it easy for Kaposa. His race starts from a standing start, a sensational for the Williams driver, but Titus will not be, he's no mug, is Titus. He's a former champion of the top tier. He will not make it easy for Kaposa, but he just wants those fresh tires. Tapiso now P9, and of course Romeo, aka Mandla, who's had a couple dalliances with the walls, is now P10. Let's see how the rest of this race pans out. Red Bull in formation, says the wingless wonder Stanley Mazzanti, cheering on his fellow teammates. Stanley Mazzanti, the biggest cheerleader for Red Bull. Stanley Mazzanti with those little blue pom-poms in the comment section. 2 laps left, safety car must disappear. We want action! Yes, Tabang Emanguni. Absolutely, we want the action. We want the safety car to make way for a proper sprint, and Tapiso is on the verge of catching up to the grid here. There he is, castle section. Here comes Mandla, fairly close behind as well. Wendell Shezzy says, Red Bull, yeah, the season, ine estunzi.
Ine estunzi, yeah, ine something, yeah, yabo. Alright, wandile. Alabantu bayadrive brand boy nabo kuzu twano elabantu bayadrive nabo sanele yabo kuthi 2 elabantu bayapusha strong.
Yes, bayapusha indeed, really holding their own, our Red Bull, doing really well. Sprint race, let's go. The safety car is on the verge of coming in. Let's see what kind of a start Cicle can get. Oh, beautiful overhead shot there, as this field will hurtle and race and sprint down towards turn 1. Cicle nails it and hits it. Brown Boy will look to use every ounce of his battery towards turn 1. He thinks about it, but Brown Boy's not close enough. Cicle is clean through from Brown Boy, from Lungs, from Temple Temba. Loveness is still running P4 on those old medium tires. Lungs and Brown Boy are going to have to work together to keep Temple Temba at bay. Temple Temba is fighting alone versus the 2 Red Bulls that are in formation. It's a titanic tussle, an absolute sprint for the race win here. Fresh set of soft tires. It's the penultimate lap. If you've just joined us, welcome. It's a sprint to the finish. Most of the grid has fresh tires. Brown Boy thinks about it. Coming into the left-hander, but he's not close enough. Cicle holds and positions that car perfectly to make sure the Brown Boy has nothing to say. Temple Temba already has fallen behind by a factor of about 1.1 seconds behind this man. Lungs, there is Temple Temba. He's chasing, but he's nowhere near as and level effects and overtake a little bit further down the grid. But of course, the story here is the battle for the race win. What can Brown Boy do in the fight to the finish? We're almost at the final lap of the race. Lungs is hanging on for dear life. Remember, we will not have DRS. Just 2 laps of racing to finish proceedings here in Baku. And Lungs is hanging on for dear life. P3 by a factor of 0.8 from Brown Boy. Let's see if he can keep it together. A lap 25 of 26 here. They both slip into the distance. They slip away to Brown Boy and Cicle. He's doing all he can, but Cicle is almost a second ahead of the Red Bull here. It's sensational driving by the champion, and they won't look like they'll be anywhere near ahead. And Level is looking to overtake Loveness. They're side by side. It's a 3-way battle. Kaposa has something to say. He's tucked right behind Loveness seemingly. They go almost 3 side by side, but Kaposa effects what is essentially a double overtake to find himself in P5. Sensational driving by the Williams driver, and now Loveness is going to have to contend with Titus right behind him. Beautiful racing, beautiful stuff all over the grid here. They're side by side. It's Loveness and Napo. Will he get the most done? No. Loveness stays in P7. Old medium tires, I would have you know, as Mandla overtakes Tapiso further down. Looks like one of them spun. Tapiso had an almighty spin. That's why he finds himself back in P10, down back towards the bottom. Now, the battle for the race win. Let's see how it pans out. It's the castle section now. You can't hate on Cikle, but he is clearing. Kabiti, says Wandel Chessie. 1.3 seconds the gap between P1 and 2. It's looking like a far-flung dream now, unless something dramatic happens towards the end of this race here in Baku. Cikle has kept it together. He did not have a moment with the wall there. We've seen that wall claim its fair share of skulls, but not Cikle, not champion. Not the champion, not the race leader, not the half driver. And as Brown Boy looks to chase down Cikle, it looks like the half driver is going to keep it together. He's going to hang on. But this is going to be a sensational double podium here for Red Bull, because Cikle is on the main straight, and Cikle will, not for the first time, it's the fourth straight time he crosses the line. P1 wins the race fastest lap. On the last lap, Brown Boy crosses the line for P2, and Lungs completes a sensational double podium for the Red Bulls.
Ano laban to try to ebe pushile to when Brown Boy race on amara bekazamile but atakani to P2 podium. Double podium.
Yes, double podium for the Red Bulls. Teppo Tamba started the race 16th, will finish 4th. Kaposa 5th, Labo 6th, Loveness 7th, Titus 8th, Romeo 9th, and Tapiso P10. Zotal reckons that the driver of the day is Teppo Tamba. Nice fight, Brown Boy. Beautiful race, says Dini. Good night. Thank you, Dini. Brown Boy fought. Brown Boy is too quick, says Inati. After the castle section, Cikle was unmatched. Beautiful, sensational driving by the champion. Brilliant race. Shout out to Brakeaway. Absolutely. And that man, the champion, Cikle, occupies the top spot on the podium. And he hops straight off and he joins us now in commentary. Congratulations, Cikle. Beautiful racing, sensational qualifying. You claimed the fastest lap in the last lap of the race. Take us through that, and actually take us through your qualifying and that race. That was beautiful battle between you and Brown Boy.
That was fun. That was fun. It was hard checking him off after that first safety car. Jeez.
Yeah.
Yes, it was so hard. Yeah. But yeah, the game, I don't know. It felt off since yesterday. There's this new patch.
Since the patch, yeah.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
And
enjoying it.
What did you change in qualifying? What did you change to eventually get that advantage over Brown Boy?
Nothing per se. It was everyone was just taking it easy up until that final run.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was really just it. That was really just it. We were all taking it quite easy because we saw the numbers. It was just the 15 of us.
Yeah.
The final lap is what matters.
That was a beautiful, beautiful racing. Congratulations. Top step of the podium once again. Brown Boy! It's a double podium finish for Red Bull. That was beautiful racing. Beautiful battling with the champion, the race leader. Take us through that.
Oh, let's go. Firstly, congrats to my teammate, podium. Massive points. The race, that was very difficult, especially keeping up with Cikle.
Yeah,
I know. It was very difficult, especially when
you're doing well, boy. You're doing well.
Nah, thanks. Especially when I had a very good in lap. So,
Yeah. Take us through that, just that battle, and also how difficult maybe your in lap was for the overcut, and also making sure that you got out ahead and kept them behind.
The in lap, I had to put everything I had in there because I knew he's gonna be out in cold tires as he comes out for his out lap, so I'd have to put everything I had.
Yeah. That was absolutely beautiful stuff, man. You've had a sensational start to your tier one career, and you've managed to finish. Well, it's a P2 finish here, and I'm just quickly getting my stats up. It's your second podium this year after Belgium. Tell us about your targets for the season.
I don't know. I don't have targets so far. I just get massive points. Points. It's crucial. Survive, basically. Because anything can happen.
Absolutely.
Can get points, but towards the end of the season, it can drop points still. So.
Beautiful stuff. Absolutely beautiful stuff. Sikle, coming up, you're looking, even despite the patch and the issues with the pass, you're looking very comfortable and unflustered. Sometimes if you fall back for safety car reasons or whatever, there's never a sense that you kind of try too hard. Just take us through the mentality and kind of responding to adversity sometimes when you find yourself under pressure in a race situation.
It's just playing the game, man. It's putting the other person under pressure. That's more like how I see it. Getting the other person to be the one who makes mistakes. So just be smart about how I use my battery if I'm behind them or if I'm ahead of them. I'll make them waste their battery. That's what I usually aim on doing. And once that's gone, there's nothing else they could do.
Man, gentlemen, absolutely beautiful racing. We've tried to get Lungs into commentary here, but we seemingly cannot get him on. That will be Lungs' codename Guzu, who finished P3. Another podium finish for Lungs. A beautiful part of the season for him. Brown Boy and Tsepo being given shouts for driver of the day. Tsepo starting from all the way at the back, finishing P4. Beautiful stuff from him. And let's see the rest of these comments. Cheering on Sikle. Sorry, Thumb says Sikle's trying to sound like he struggled. Talking about struggles after the update. Listen, Sikle is not the only person to complain about the new patch. Of course, it's quite glitchy, as we've seen in Tier 2 and Tier 1 today. Hopefully we get that sorted out for the rest of the season. And, some congratulatory messages here. And, beautiful racing, gents. We will see you in at the Circuit of the Americas. That should be a good one.
Definitely.
Congrats, guys. I'll catch you on the next one. Let's just make sure I haven't missed any of your comments. Thank you so much for watching Breakaway League Racing, the top tier in Baku, Azerbaijan. And we look forward to seeing all of you at the Circuit of the Americas race when Tier 2 and 3 will be racing on Monday at 7:30 and 9 p.m. respectively. Hopefully not too many disruptions. And just want to make sure I have not missed any comments. It looks like Zotal and Stanley having a bit of a back and forth about the racing line here. But thank you very much, everybody. We will catch you on Monday. And these top-tier drivers will race on Tuesday at the Circuit of the Americas. If Zotal has 1 million haters, I'm one of them. If he has 1,000 haters, I'm one of them. If Zotal has 1 hater, it's me. If he has no haters, it means I've left this world. Sorry, Thumbs is bantering Zotal there. Guys, thank you. We will catch you on Monday for more Breakaway League racing. Thank you and good night.
Thank you. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.